Also very important for your future perspective. So do not maybe just miss any session. Okay, go through the session very active. Fine. So Python is an scripting language you people are aware, and this is an interpreter language. I hope you are aware. If not, that's fine. Let me tell you. Very first thing, it is a open source, which means anybody can use free. Okay, you need not to put any single penny to make the use of the Python for your programs. Second thing, it is increasing the popularity because of its easiness. Okay, very easy. Third, very fastest growing in terms of your libraries. And these libraries are really very important because when you would be gonna use different vendors, you will able to understand what is the use of library. Okay. General purpose language, I will say. It is a general purpose language. What the general purpose means, like scientists can use them, you can use in AI, you can use in machine learning, you can use for GUI, you can use for web development, you can use for software development. Okay. It came in market in 1989, way before the Java came. Okay. But due to its easiness, it is now gaining the popularity, more and popularity nowadays. One thing more important, firstly, whenever you do anything, it may look like a little bit, complex, but believe me, it's not a complex thing. It's really very easy. So like if you talk about CCN, in CCNA, when you did CCNA, you should be aware like trainer should have told you what is NAT, what is IP addressing, what is IPv6, IPv4. But sooner or later, those concepts are really very easy for you, right? Similarly, here I will say practice is the key. So all these classes, whatever we are doing, okay, these are equally important. So please put your 100% focus over here. Do the practice whenever I am telling you anything. Okay, the practice is really very, very important. Then you need to understand one thing. Python is object oriented. It's maybe object oriented programming language. Okay, so what does that mean? Like, let us say you are having a variable x. Variable means bit like what to say, bit like some container where you are putting something. So in variable, if you are putting 3, and in the same way, if you are putting like this 3, or if you are putting like this 3, if you are putting in the variable like this 3, all these values are different. Okay, you need to understand how that. Probably when I would be going to talk about syntax, you will understand. But currently I am taking names. You may just listen that. Okay, if you are understanding, that's fine. If you are not understanding, even then it's fine. It's a plain number. It's a numeric data type. Anything in the single quote or in the double quote is a string. Okay. Let us say later on when you need to put IP address in any container, you cannot use this because it's not a number. So you will be gonna use like this string a equal to 1.1.1.1 or whatever IP address we need to use later on. Maybe you will be able to understand. This has some different subnet, different syntax. This is a different syntax. Then somewhat you will be able to see like that. That is a different story. So main thing is this data type. This data type is really very important. If you are good with data type, then you can adopt any library. And library are important for different vendors. Is this point clear, guys?
Yes, yes.
So data type is really very important. Let me show you, maybe let me open the command prompt. I have Python installed into my PC. That is the reason if I will write down Python and will put enter, it is showing me some syntax. Okay, it is showing me the some information like I am using Python 3.10.6 version. But like soon I would be gonna tell you how to install Python in your all PCs. So you please install that. That is free of cost. No single penny need to give to anybody, and very easy to use. Okay.
It's,
So let us say I am saying x equal to 3. And if I wanted to check what is the type of the container x, which means this x is containing what kind of value. So this is showing integer. If same way I am saying x dot 3 dot o. And again, I wanted to see type of x. You can see it is showing you float. Similarly, if maybe I am just using like this, x equal to 3. And again, I wanted to see the type. It is showing me integer, right? Why it is showing integer? Let me show like that. Let me add one more. Okay. So here you can see it is showing you tuple. But in the same way, if I will change some kind of, brackets from the round bracket, if I'm using the square bracket, you can see type is getting changed. So these types are important. That is what I was saying. That type are really very important in case of your uh, Python. Okay. Now, let us say, depending upon type, what happened. Let us say you have a variable A, and when you are saying equal, it means you are assigning some value. In the variable A, I am assigning a value 1. In the variable B, I am assigning a value 2. Simple numbers, okay? I don't want to go for the calculations because it should be the focus on the Python, learning Python rather than the calculation. So if you see, I took two variables. If I will use A plus B, the answer should be, you are aware, 3. But on the other hand, if I will say A is 1, B is 2, and I am using A plus B, what should be the answer? Any guess? This is string now, right? String. So string will concatenate. Okay. I am gonna touch all the topics, don't worry. I am just giving you the overview currently. Just to tell like how these data types are important. So depending upon this data type, here we are representing the sum. Because this is a string, it will concatenate the string. It will
one,
show
two.
you like this. 1, 2. Okay. Let's see. Just to show you how data types are important. A equal to 1, B equal to 2. Again, not important for the calculation. I am just showing you. But on the other hand, if I'm saying A equal to 1, which is a string, and B equal to 2. And the same thing I am doing A plus B. You are able to see it is showing you 12 because it is concatenating two strings, right? How concatenation, if even you are not able to understand, like let me use something like this. A equal to hello, B equal to world. Okay. So if I will do A plus B, it will be hello world. In the same manner, same calculation, it is taking them as a string. Although as an human eye, if you see, it will look like a number, right? But since the syntax is of the string, that is the reason Python is treating it differently. I hope you are getting this point. Anybody? Any question?
In the hello and word, there won't be any space, right?
No, no, they are string only. No? See,
So,
let us
yeah.
say if I am saying A, hello, space, then B, I am saying world. And sorry, I didn't close that. So it can be a single quote, it can be a double quote. And if I'm doing A plus B, you can see. hello world. Okay, those are strings.
Okay, so space will be there.
I just add the space because
Okay,
other
you added. Okay, okay. Otherwise, space won't be there, right? That is my
right,
question.
right,
Okay, okay. Got
because it will do the concatenation. Na?
Yeah,
It's
yeah, got
pretty
it.
much adding it together, whatever you add in there.
Can you repeat?
I said it's pretty much adding the strings together,
Right, it is just concatenating the string, nothing.
concatenating the strings.
Correct, correct. So because you cannot add two strings, so that is the reason it is concatenating. But in case of integers, it will give you the addition. So depending upon data type, that is what I was saying. The data type in Python is really very important. And depending upon this data type, we have different functions available. Okay, like these, these are, this plus is what? Bit like we can say arithmetic function, right? Similarly, we have a different type of functions available in each and every data type. So we need to be understand that whenever we are utilizing Python, then there are some data type, and depending upon those data type, there are various functions available, and we should not forget that whenever we are learning Python, data type is really very important, very. Now, these data type generally can be divided into one of the two forms. One is mutable. Mutable, like, just try to understand like this. There is a radio which is just playing some songs, and there is a mute button. So you can mute it. You have the control on it, right? And second is unmutable, means you don't have control. So similarly here, mutable means once defined, let us say you put something into it, right? And you wanted to make change, you can make the changes. But here, if you define something, you cannot make the changes over here. Although you can override it later on if you wanted to override, you can override the value, but the change in the value is not possible. Okay, let me show you the uh, what I am trying to tell. Here, if I am saying a equal to hello, okay, what happened?
I think you defined A is equal to hello and space, maybe. That.
Jasdeep, can you repeat?
Maybe you defined the hello with space and later on you are giving A is hello. Maybe due to
Okay,
this.
so no, that is not the issue. Issue is here I give some space. Can you see this
Okay, in the beginning.
in the beginning?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
don't worry, it won't matter because we will not write program on this kind of interface. We will always use an ID. I am just coming to that. Okay, it's a beginning of the class, so I am showing over here. But we won't use such kind of things. We will use Visual Studio Code for the same. Okay, so there you won't face this kind of issue. Okay, what I was showing, like here you can see A is N. If you see the type of A, this is a string. Okay, oops. You can see there is a string into the A, and the value of A is hello. Now, if I wanted to change, maybe on the second position, I wanted to assign, let it be 1. So you can see it does not support item assigning. Why? Because string is a immutable data type. So immutable data type will not get change anything. But on the other hand, if it would be like this, a list. In the list, I have some elements maybe. Okay. Currently, I know you are not able to understand about this, but I am just trying to show you that this is a list. But I wanted to say that on the 0th position, I wanted to put the value 2. And if I see the new value of A, you can see even the value earlier was hello, but now this is 2. How I am assigning? That is a different story. Please don't focus on that. I'm just trying to tell you, like, some data types can be changed, means the value can be changed, value can be altered. And for some data types, you cannot make the change into the values. Is this point clear to everybody?
Yeah.
Fine. So let's start with, installing of the Python very first. Let's start with.
I have one question here. Like installing this Python, we'll be doing this in our lab, which will be given to us, right? We need to install, or it will be there.
Install it on your PC, not an issue. Okay.
Okay. No, lab PC you are saying, or in our local laptop?
No, you can install on your PC also. It
Okay.
won't
Okay.
be any issue.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So if you see, there are the first link which is showing you to install the Python. Go to this official website. Here you can see currently it is selected Windows. But in your case, if you just click on this download button, you can see looking for Python with a different OS rather than Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac OS, other, whatever is suitable for you. Click over there. I am just showing for the Windows. Now, such files or such page will be gonna show in front of you. Here you can see installer for 32-bit and for 64-bit. You can just use one of them depending upon your machine compatibility. Which version you want to use? Python has version 2 and version 3. 2 is about to obsolete. So you cannot able to see 2 anywhere. For 3, these are the subversions depending upon the different patching and maybe security things, or to avoid some kind of vulnerabilities. These will come into the picture. So better to go with the newer version, or whatever version you wanted to install, you can install. In my case, if you see, let me go for exit. When I write down Python, you can see which version is having in my machine is 10.10.6. So you can install any, but I am just showing you which version I am running. So here is the version, and these versions are really not important, because when you run the Python, how to run the Python is important. Versions are not important, because using these versions, the syntax will not get impacted at all. Okay. So let me show you. If you just click over here, it will be get installed into your PC. Okay. It will just be there in your PC. Okay. You need to open that link where you have, stored this, all the stuff. And from there, you just need to double click on that, and very simple thing like what we are doing in other of the programs. In the same way, probably you need to do these kind of tasks. Okay. So one thing is very important. Whenever you are doing installing this, there would be an option to, let me again check. Okay. Give me a minute. Here you go. So you can see this comes under over my PC. If I will double click over here, can you see this option? Add python.exe. Yes or no, guys?
Yeah.
Please click on this. Okay. Before installing, click on this always. Reason. Otherwise, you need to go to this path where it is installing, and from this path only, you can run the programs. Okay. So do not forget, whenever you are doing it, click on this check mark. Only then click on this install now, and rest story, I hope you all are aware how to do whatever.
So we are checking out both boxes, right?
Sorry?
We are checking the user admin and also the second box.
Both boxes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Correct. Okay. Once you install it, open the command prompt or maybe any other, CLI versions like what was that? I forgot the name. Give me a minute. One was the command prompt. What was the another one? The CLI of the Windows? Anybody?
CMD? Sorry, what? DOS?
No. In the what was that? Okay, leave it. So you can
Are you
just
talking
go into
about
the.
Putty? Or no?
Sorry, what?
Not Putty, right?
So not putty. So you go into the command prompt and you just write down the Python. And when you write down the Python, you can see if you can see such of the information. And after that, such screen will appear in front of you. It means the Python interpreter, you are under the Python interpreter. Okay. So it means that you are under the Python. And this screen is showing Python interpreter. What is interpreter? Interpreter is a middleman. Let us say Jacob is speaking English. I can speak Hindi. Okay. If I will deliver this class in Hindi, Jacob will not be able to understand. So there should be a person who should be converting this Hindi to English. And when Jacob is saying something, he is converting me in Hindi. Only then we can speak. This middleman who is acting in between us is named as interpreter or compiler in case of your languages. These are the two names. Now, there is a difference. Interpreter will do every line by line conversion. Compiler will first compile the program and then will change this. Here, Hindi, English, there, from the human language to the machine. Machine language is 1001, whatever. Okay, like that. So when you are converting these things, every language may be an interpreter language or a compiler. So in Python, it is one by one. What is the difference? Let us say if you have 1 lakh code of lines in your script and you have the problem on 99,000 line. So compiler will throw an error and it will say stop, first correct this. Then maybe if you have further lines also having issues, it will not execute the script even a single line. But in case of interpreter, these 99,000 lines will be get executed, but at the line where the error is occurring, that line will throw the error. I hope you are able to understand. So Python is an interpreter. Okay. So you can see this is what? This is an interpreter. So when you write down Python, if you are able to see such screen, it means your Python is installed. And as I told you, we won't be doing it on the command prompt. Everybody of you just write down Visual Studio for download. Okay. From the main website, official website, whatever, again, depending upon your machine, please install. Okay. Again, free of use, nothing to worry, need not to pay anything. Once you will install it, it will look like this. Give me a minute. Let me open it first. It will open like this. Okay. So here you need to go to the extensions very first time. Okay. Need to go to the extension. Write down over here Python. Put enter. Very first time I am saying. Okay. Rest you need not to do. You can see this is installed in my case. These extensions are not installed. So you need to click on this install for Python. Very first, whatever will come. Okay, only Python. And it will get installed into your PC for this Visual Studio Code. Now, what is this?
I have a
Let me.
question.
Yeah.
Sorry. So you have to download the Visual Studio Code, right, onto the
Correct.
PC? Okay.
Correct.
All right.
So you can download it in your PC. That was the question, Jacob.
Yes, that's the question. I'm downloading now.
Fine. So you can install it. It won't harm your PC. Okay. Install it. Now, I was saying why it is important that I need to tell you. See, these are named as IDE. Technically, if I will speak, this is named as IDE, which means integrated development environment. Let me write down.
So this Python ID will be by default in the Visual Studio. We just need to install it, right?
You need to install.
Okay. It will be
That
there.
is free of cost. You need to install. You need to tell like what, because Visual Studio Code is a ID.
Okay,
It can be
okay.
used for any language,
Right, right.
right? So you need to just tell, give that kind of specification or capability
Okay.
to
It,
that ID.
it, it will be there already. We have just installed.
Right, right. So you can use Sublime. Okay. You can use Visual Studio Code. You can use Anaconda. And there is a way more than you can even imagine. Such IDs are available. But go with this Microsoft product, Visual Studio Code. Very interactive and easy to use. Okay. When I was in the here, when I was here, right? So this is somewhat good for beginning when I am teaching you something. Like it is bit like a shell, which is ready to accept your commands. For interactive command, it is good. Okay, I can give you some kind of thing, interpreter mode. But generally, we don't use it. Later on, we don't require it anywhere. We will be doing each and everything where in our Visual Studio Code. Again, you need to just go to this extensions. Under the extension, you can write down anything. Like if I wanted to install Java, I will just click write down Java, and you can see currently it is not installed. If I need to use it, probably I can just give install on my Microsoft Visual Studio Code. Here, if you will go, you can see the Explorer. Again, source code, search thing, run or debug, testing, maybe blah, 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 different informations. Okay. Currently, if you wanted to see, there are lot of information, but we won't go with that. Okay. Let me just close it. Again, I'm double clicking on this. And here you can see this is a test py program, which I have write down earlier, right? But same thing if I need to show you like a equal to 1, b equal to 2, okay, c equal to, I am just using hello, and in the hello, I just utilize my one time I write down the code. The second time this code came automatically. Let me show you. I am just opening the round bracket, but the closing bracket is coming automatically. So these kind of stuff, like if I am not using hello over here in the correct manner, you can see some error is showing to you. What it is telling? Unterminated. Can you see that problem? Red lines. So that is the use of your Sublime or Anaconda or Visual Studio Code. So these are bit like your IDEs, which will be used throughout for your uh, maybe scripting world, I will say. So the way, like if you need to present something to your customer, either you will use PDF or maybe PPT or maybe Excel, depending upon the nature of the data. Similarly, here also we are utilizing this for writing down the scripts. Any question, any doubt, feel free to ask. Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine. So I was just talking about what you need to do, how the ID will need to be utilized. Okay, although there is a built-in uh, ID come whenever you install Python, you can see there is a built-in ID named as IDLE. It will get installed automatically with your Python. Okay, when you install the Python, let me show you.
I have a question here. Like,
Yeah, go ahead.
so you initially installed the Python and then this. So do we require both, or we Python is mandatory to install, then you install the Visual Studio?
Python is installed for your PC. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So PC, like you need to understand that one thing is the PC. Second
Mm-hmm.
thing is when you installing this software should be aware what kind of script it is running. Okay. So that is the requirement why you need to add an extension here. It is bit like an extension, like in Google Chrome. You install some of the extension like print screen. So print screen is there in your PC also. But for the full page, if you want, you are utilizing an extension in your Google Chrome. Bit like that, maybe you can just try to understand.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but like my question was, is it mandatory first to install Python, then we will install this Visual Studio, right?
Right.
Okay.
So I was telling you that one ID will come automatically. And this ID name is ideal. Again, not good, you can see. But yeah, if you will write down help over here, like help, okay, you can see I'm in the help menu. What it is saying, write down some of the keywords, symbols, topics. You just write down anything and I will give you the answers. Let me just write down maybe keyword. You can see there are a lot of keywords which are coming in front of me. Let me use if. So you can see it is telling me what the if statement is, right? Similarly, if I will write down topics, what happened? Topics. So you can see there are a lot of topics, right? If I need to talk about maybe strings, so it is showing you the 163 lines. It squeezed that, but if you just double click, you can open it and you can learn about anything about the, you know, string. So you just double click and you will come out of it again the interpreter mode. So not good, I will say. Help you can utilize over here also. It is showing it that write down help. I'm sorry, help with long brackets. So you can see now here again same thing. You write down topics. Okay, maybe you are wanted to learn about looping. It is showing you the looping, right? Just press the spacebar and read about it or press the Q. Put 2 times enter, you will be out of the help. So that is a basic understanding how help works. Any question so far?
None from me.
Okay. So I talked about variable. I talked about the assignment, that how to do the assignment. Like whenever you have a variable, left side will be your variable name. Equal to means you are assigning some value. Right side, you need to put some value. Okay. And I was using type of A. What is that? That is a function. Okay. So every data type has different function. So those functions we will be gonna talk about. But I hope by now you should not have any questions, anything. If you have, you can ask. Otherwise, let me just give you one more stuff. See, sometime you will listen these words. In case of languages, people will say this is a front end. People will say this is a back end. So what is front end, back end means? Front end means which will come to your client, like HTTP, like Django, like JavaScript. Remember, I hope all of you are the people who understand F5ASM. F5ASM use JavaScript. Can anybody tell me where? Am I audible?
Yeah. The learning suggestions maybe?
Oh no. Jacob, where F5ASM will use JavaScript? Suresh? Yeah, Jacob.
Yes, sir. Could please repeat the question?
F5ASM use this JavaScript for something very important. Very, very important. What is that?
Uh, Browser verifications.
Perfect. To find out device ID. How it find the device ID? Jasdeep, I talked about it, that it will send the JavaScript in the ASM class. Forget that it will send the JavaScript and and will get the specification of the device and all of those things. Remember?
Yes, got it now.
So JavaScript front end language. Okay. So please don't forget these terms. These are will getting used here and there. So these are your front end language. Back end language is bit like your Bash, Shell, your PHP, because PHP is helpful for your presentation in the HTML format, but it will act in back. Bit like your Perl, Python. So these are backend. Okay. So when I am saying backend language, you need to understand one thing. I was talking about one program in morning. So let us say there is a device. Because we will be focusing on F5, this is an F5 device. You are doing what? You are writing down a Python script, fetching out some data. In the background, that data is with you. Now you need to present it to your customer, a report in the report format. You can use HTML. HTML can fetch out this data and show as an front end. But in the backend, what you are using? In the backend, you are utilizing Python. Is this point clear? So front-end development is a practice of converting data to the user interaction way or for having the user. Backend is responsible for calculating logic, database interaction, performance, bit like that. Any questions? Okay. Now, how you will use Python in your infrastructure to utilize this scripting? One thing. Whenever you need to handle some configuration tasks which need to be pushed on multiple of the device, maybe thousand of the device, and there is a repetitive task. One of the best example is the migration. When you are doing a migration, in that you need to do such kind of task to modify the SNMP string, creating the VLAN, same SNMP community string you need to put in on every device in that repetitive task, which are easy one, but team is not able to accomplish it in one go. So you can write down the Python script and you can push such things using your Python script. Okay. Second thing, in such cases, the human error can be more. So to reduce those human errors, you can put the configuration through the script rather than deploying manually. So when you have the automated configuration deployment solution in your infrastructure, it reduces the human error and bring the consistency. And especially if it is a complex change, okay? And you have the different versions to be get maintained. Let us say in the shift A is doing version 1, but in shift B, it is decided that you need to do version 2. So shift C is doing version 2, but shift A, because C did not give a proper handover, shift A when come in the next day, it will do again version 1. So inconsistency. Such thing can be avoided if you are doing some task using the script. I hope you people are getting what I am telling. Yes or no, please?
Yeah.
Right. Then it will simplify your any kind of audit, bit like security audit or network audit you need to do. Maybe let me give you some examples. In your device, if telnet is open or no, you can write down a script. You can put the telnet on every device. Okay. If you have, again, I am giving some example. If you have 10,000 of the device, if you are giving this work to some L1 team or somebody, maybe they are doing this work, they can be get bored and they will not take it seriously. But it is a security standard and maybe it is a potential risk for your organization. What you can do? You can just push a script on all of those 10,000 devices. You can just get that data. How many devices are still supporting the telnet? So you have a fair idea. Now, this task look like very easy, but very boring. If somebody has to do it, you can think or you can imagine how the, big task will be. Not useful, not giving you any kind of value. Okay, no value addition in terms of your knowledge, but this task is important also. Why? It is a potential risk, security risk to your organization. So such tasks, you can just do them using the Python scripts. Any question? Similarly, if you wanted to check the uplinks information, wanted to check in the BGP neighborship is up or no, okay? Bit like such kind of, I will say, data collection, okay? Or maybe if you're doing some kind of upgrade, even upgrade also you can do using the Python script. So for network engineer, no longer need to learn different syntax for different devices, okay? Once you are okay with your Python script, the Python library will do it for you. How? That you will understand in some time when I am going on the practical things. So far, any question to anybody? Please ask.
Okay.
Okay. API, I repeated in my previous class, but all of you were not there. API is something when your program is talking with your program or software is talking with software. Abbreviation stands for application programming interface. you can say a mechanism to communicate between two applications or two softwares. So this is again come into the picture when we will be doing scripting for F5. We will be using RESTful API. RESTful API means the API calls are going on the layer 7. So when you need to GUI access, okay, bit like your GUI access, you will be using RESTful APIs. Okay. What kind of action there can be? There can be get. In the get, okay, there is a abbreviation again, CRUD. I talked about it. Can somebody tell me what is CRUD means? So in terms of REST API, what the CRUD means? C stands for create, to create something. Okay. R stands for read, to read something. U stands for update something. D stands for delete something. So if you want to read something, you will use a method named as get. Okay. Similarly, if you wanted to create something, you will use the method post. Guys, yes or no? In Python, in FIASM, I talked about it.
Yes, yes, right.
Right? So similarly, patch. You can just update something, or you can modify something, or you can just replace something using put also. Put, same way, you can just maybe replace something. Then delete, use for delete. So these are the some basic functions when you will be doing accessing your application and you want to make change on your application. These are the things what you do. Okay. So this is how your API will come into the picture, and your API you need to understand how using these Python scripts, you can go through the APIs calls and you can access your devices. Okay, one update. This class will start at 8:30 p.m. IST. Please convert your time zones in whatever time zone you are. And it will be get over at 10 p.m. IST. Okay, which means 1 hour and 30 minutes. Depending upon the topic, we may increase it a little bit if required. Okay, so that is how we will be proceeding, and it is a fixed time now because there was some confusion in morning. I thought let me just talk about this first so that there should not be any confusion to anybody. Okay, so any question in this timing?
No, no.
Fine, fine. Okay, so I was talking about Python scenario, like how Python operations can change depending upon data types. Today, I am starting a data type which name is string. Very, very important. It cannot happen that you can skip this. You cannot skip the strings. You need to use string at each and every time. Okay, in every script. So before writing down the script, I need to talk about one more thing. Like if I'm just storing A is hello, there is a function named as print, in which if I will put this, variable name, if I will put enter, this will print the value of same thing. These functions are named as inbuilt function, which means these functions are coming in your Python package itself. Okay, inbuilt functions are these. So we will be utilizing this print function also in our scripts, but let's first maybe go for our data type, which is string. Now in the strings, as I told you, either it will be into the single quote, or you can write down in between the double quote, whatever. Okay. How much you wanted to proceed, you can. Whatever you wanted to write. So these are strings. Be aware, if you are writing down like this and you are stopping like this is not acceptable. You have to use single quote only to make it end. Okay, let me see. Like here, if I am writing down a print now, if I am writing down like a is hello, I wanted to check the value of a, you can see it is under the single quote. Why? Because in the background, Python is understanding either you are putting the double quote or single quote, hardly matter. It is a string, which we can check with again an inbuilt function named as type. So in the type, I am putting the variable name and it is showing me it belongs with a class named as string. Okay, str, string. So this is your string. Now, as I told you, if a is 100, it means this is an integer. Okay, integer. But if I am putting a is like this, 100, and if I will check the type of a, you can able to see this is a string now. Although you can see it is an 100, but Python will treat it as differently. For Python, this is not a string. This is a sorry, this is not an integer. This is a string. Are you getting my point?
Yeah. So be it single quotes or double quotes, it will treat the same way as a string, right?
Same way, same.
Okay.
But you cannot do like this. A 100 and double. See,
Yeah, that's so.
that it will not accept. Okay. Throughout your program, I will suggest either stick with the single quote or stick with the double quote. Doesn't matter. Okay. Although it doesn't see, if I am putting A is equal to 100, okay, and I am saying B equal to, let us say, 1. So it will not bother. But why to, change the way of writing down the script? Stick with one, whatever you wanted to go for, okay, and be there for that one. So this is your one. Now, anything, let us say A is equal to 100. This is a numeric. I wanted to convert the A into the string. I can just write down str in front of it and I can just put the variable name. So you can see it is converting it into the string. Similarly, if you see the A value is 100 as an integer, but let me convert it into the string. If you see the A value, it is a string. And if I wanted to convert it into the integer, I can just write down int in before it. So it is going to the integer. So you need to understand, by doing like this, you can convert some integer into the string. By doing like this, you can convert a string into an integer only if it is base 10. Base 10 means what? Minus number or plus number. You cannot convert ABC into the integer, right? So if you will try to do that, it will throw the error. Like if A is equal to anything, okay, and you wanted to make the integer of it, how does it won't support, right? So you can see, sorry man, you need to have base 10. So only if the string is containing bit like this number, right? And if you wanted to convert it into the integer, that is supported. I hope you people are able to understand what I am trying to say. Then as in beginning, I told you, if you are using plus symbol, so if you have a string 1, you have a string 2, those will concatenate, which means it will become string 1, string because string you cannot add, you can only concatenate. Similarly, if I will say string 1 multiply by 5, what it does? It will repeat 5 times because multiplication in the integer and the string is a different. So if I, let me show you. So if I am having a equal to some value maybe, and I am saying a multiply by whatever, maybe 50, you can see that value, right? But if a is having a string like this, okay, and if I am saying a is multiplied by 3, so it's not doing the multiplication, it is repeating. So from here to here, if you will see, maybe from here to here, you can see it is just repeating twice. Okay. So depending upon your data type, your whole stuff will keep on working, and different libraries are using different data type. So you need to be aware about this data type thing. Very important. Now let me show you something. If A is a string, like A string is welcome to the automation class where we teach Python in the easiest manner. What is this? This is a string. I just saved this. If I need to print this message in front of user, I will use print it. So user will not able to see the backend program. Whatever I am giving in the print, user will be able to see that all. Is this point clear? Then let us say this is a complete line. In this line, you will able to understand that this start from the index 0. And let us say it is ending at 50. Okay. If I need to print only automation, I need to calculate from where this automation start. Let us say it is starting with the number 11 and ending at the number of 15. I can use like this. A start from 11, ending at 15. So it will give me the substring or string offset, or you can say I am slicing the string into the substring. Okay. This is really very common way. When later on, maybe in Cisco, I showed to multiple of the people. Okay, you can able to understand. Let us say you have different interfaces value. Okay, you have 10 interfaces, and from there I need to see which interface is down. So probably using this string, this whole data will get converted into the string, and it will print out, okay, these all maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will show all of these interfaces. These are down, rest are up. Okay. So when you will go on such of the programs, you will enjoy Python. Okay, you will really enjoy. And if you are able to do such programs by your own, literally, you will have a great interest bit like a game. Okay. So now currently, if you wanted to see the what is the value of 0th position, so you can see W is at your 0th position, right? Similarly, if I need to check what is the position at -1 means from the last. Okay. So how it works? From here, it will go like 0, 1, 2, 3, and keep on going. From here, it will like -1, -2, -3, and bit like that. So it will
does it count the space?
-50. Sorry?
Does it count the space as well? You know, from
Yes.
welcome,
Yes.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4 space.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
One more thing. So the way you are telling this indexing is going on. So suppose it goes from 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Suppose it goes to 50, right? So
Suppose
what
it
you
go to?
suppose it go to 50, 50.
Okay.
So what you are saying is that then A50 will be equal to -1. Is it like this?
Right.
Right? Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So this is the way. Now, let us say I wanted to slice it. So I can put start and end. Let us say I wanted to see from 11 to 15, what are the digits? So you can see it is coming the, and after that space is also counted. Can you see that? So
Right, right, right.
that is how it will be representing. So we can find out later on. I will talk about more of the functions. So you can able to see where the automation come. And if I need to just print automation, I will print the automation on. But these are the string. Okay. And in the string, as I told you, you have some string related function. Like what? Like I want this a value should be into the uppercase. I will just put upper and enclosed into the round brackets, and you can see whole string is into the uppercase. I want that. Okay, no. Let it be into the lowercase. So everything is in the lowercase. Now you will think about it. Where it can be utilized? It can be utilized when you have some programs like the value can be up, value can be down, like this. If you are in the Python, you are checking either my interface are down or actually it is down. But since you are checking D as in running case, it will not show you the correct answer. Why? Python is really a case sensitive language. Okay. So in those way, what you can do, you can say that whatever output is there, convert it into the lowercase and just check either it is down or not. So that this uppercase, lowercase, or maybe whatever case it is, you should not be bothering about. I hope you people are able to understand how it will be useful into your programs later. Yes or no?
Yes, yes, got
Similarly, let us say my script is like this. My, let me write down this. This is my whole string. And this is starting with what? W. Let me make the W as capital. I can just see that either A is, okay, starts with W. It is saying false. Oh, okay. First, let me talk about this. So there are two booleans. One is true, one is false in Python. Okay, these are named as booleans. There are two booleans in the Python. One is true, one is false. So you can see it is showing false. Although it is starting with what? It is starting with W. See how easy the functions are. You can just see the name and you can able to check. So I can say first make it in the lowercase. Okay. So I can say lower the A. And then whatever is thing is coming, I'm sorry. I need to say lower the A dot lower. And then whatever is coming, just check either it is starting with W or no. It is saying. But if you have some the variable, let us say the integer, and this integer is gigabit Ethernet 1 by 1. Okay, and I wanted to see either this integer is starts with, and I just wanted to see either it is giga interface or not. Gig. What will be the answer?
it will be false.
Yes. Why?
Kept
Because it is
case.
a case sensitive.
Yeah.
Now my whole logic will fail, right? I am finding out something like how many gigabit Ethernet I have, or 10 giga Ethernet, or 25 gig interface, or 100 gig, 40 gig, whatever. but my logic will fail. Why? Because I am not utilizing something correct. So first I will convert it into the lower, and then probably I will put this logic, and now it will be gonna show me the clear picture. I hope you people are able to understand. And vice versa. Maybe I can just convert it into the upper. Okay. Howsoever you wanted to find out. And instead of this small gig, I can just write down like this. The same way. Okay. So these things are really very important when it come into your programming. Let us say you are taking the IP address from a sheet, and in sheet there are some space, and after that there is some IP address, and then again there is a space bit like this. Now if you see the value of A, value of A is containing the space also. Now there is a function named as strip. Strip. I will just use strip. Can you see? The front side space, the back side space are removed. So in my programming, these small functions will save my time. Okay. I will just strip out the value that if there is some space in front or the back end, please remove it, strip it out. Or if you just wanted to, maybe from the left hand side, you need to remove, you just write down L strip. Simple. Right hand side, there is a space, but left hand side, no space. But if you want the right hand side to remove the space, again, right hand side space is removed, but left hand side didn't touch. If you want both side, again, you can just use strip only and it will remove from both of the sides. So that is how these data types have different methods available. And depending upon these methods, you can go ahead and do a lot of things. I hope you are able to understand. Like base 10, I was telling you, like A equal to 100,000 and it is a string. Okay. I talked about it. If you wanted to find out integer of A, what's this thing? Type error string object is not callable. Okay. Yeah, why it's not giving where it is. 11, 5, 11. Now it's working. Okay, fine. P equal to 11, integer of B, strange. Before some time it was working and again it is showing the issue. Okay, fine, not an issue. So earlier, if you remember, am I making some mistake? Can you see this? The same way we were doing earlier. A value I was taking as 100, right? Like this. And I was converting it into the integer and it was showing you 100, right? But when I showed you some value like A equal to EFGH, it was saying, no, you cannot convert it because it's not a base 10. Remember I showed you before something. So how I can say, let us say A value I am just putting like this. Before converting it, I can just check either the value is a digit or not. Bit like this. If it is a digit, if it is equal to true, I can convert it into the integer. Otherwise, maybe I can just throw an error message to the client rather than, Python is throwing an error on me. I can throw to the client that, okay, buddy, it's enough. We cannot make the change over there. Right? Guys, getting this point? Yes, no?
Yeah. So this is a right now a string. You can convert it into an integer if you want.
Correct. So if you see here, let us say one variable I am taking IP. IP equal to 1.1. There is a concept of VRF. I hope you people are aware. Maybe I'm just using an customer like SCL. Here I can say ping, and in the ping, I need to create a string ping. Okay. And after that, I can say like this means this value is a dynamic value. This value is not a static value. And I can say VRF. And again, I can utilize this. After that, I need to tell what value need to be picked. The value need to be picked as IP and format. Now, if I will show you using the print function that what is there in the ping, and if I will run this program, the answer you can see here. Oh, sorry. I need to use VRF here. Hmm. Remove this. Let me run this again. So you can see this is the
So ping, you have defined the okay. I got this ping and then IP VRF dot format means
dot format means this first curly braces value is here.
okay.
This second curly braces value is here.
Okay.
What's in
We are defining that dynamic field, right?
right. So by this way, later on, when I will make a very bigger scripts, okay, the value will be dynamic. It cannot be static always,
No,
right?
I got it. So first in curly braces, you just defined that this value is going to be dynamic, and
Mm,
what will be the value that you define later on.
correct. So it is a positional arguments, or you can say values. Okay. These are positional values. Like IP will come in the first place, VRF will come into the second place. It cannot be mixed much. Okay. So you can see like how utilizing a string, we can increase our productivity step by step in our scripts. Any questions? Jacob, Suresh, understanding these concepts? Jasdeep?
Yes.
Yeah, okay for me.
Okay. So let us wrap it up over here for today. Okay. Tomorrow we will pick some more pace. Today is your first day. I don't want to be, make some more information uh, into your head. So let's start it with tomorrow. And tomorrow the timing would be 8:30. Just FYI, please join on the time. And sorry, as I told you, today I was the one who was late. So if it is 8:30 p.m., generally I don't get late. I start it by maximum 8:35. I wait for 5 minutes for everybody. But if somebody is not able to come during these 5 minutes, then we need to take, like consideration of others' time value as well. So we start at 8:35. So try to please join before that. These videos will get uploaded on the portal. For the same, you can coordinate with Myra ma'am. Okay, how to get this and all of those things. She will able to tell you more about it. Sure. Then if there is nothing to for me, any no questions, let us wrap it up over here and tomorrow we will meet at 8:30. Okay.
Okay. Thank
Okay
you.
then. Great day to everybody.
Thank you.
All right,
Enjoy.
thank you.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.